Scoping outdoors with Geoff, make the best of time that you got left. Hunting and fishing under the sun. But even if it rains, I'm gonna have some fun. Come on, let's go, get outdoors with Geoff.
When visiting the Rathmoy Pheasant Preserve on the Rangatiki River near Fielding, we saw some of the best gun dogs in the country at work. It was the annual North Island Spaniel Field Trial Championships, and it's a real pleasure seeing such well-trained dogs doing the business. The object is to pick up the scent of a bird and put it up for the gun well within shooting range. Many things can go wrong when you're dealing with wily birds like pheasants, and it takes a top performance to win. The dogs and handlers work as a team together, and the close bond between a person and the dog is clear to see. When it comes to bird shooting, particularly hunting pheasants, there's a lot of tradition involved, going back to European days. And today we're going on a pheasant hunt. We're in the central part of the North Island. I've got a side-by-side, which is a very traditional sort of a gun, and I've got two gentlemen here with me who are actually dressed up for the occasion. Good day for it, Scott.
Oh, beautiful weather for it, Geoff. Yep. Absolutely.
And I see you boys have got the correct attire on.
Oh, why not take advantage of the opportunity to get out here with some nice guns and some nice company?
Absolutely.
Some fine English tweed too, Geoff.
English tweed and Italian guns. So we've got the new Fosti guns, which are new in New Zealand, and we're going to put these to the test. So good combination.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Can't wait to get into it, actually.
Now it's our turn to pick up the gun. Yeah, I like this. I like this. We're not shooting driven birds today, but it's what we call walk-up shooting. We follow the dogs, and you have to be ready for a bird to flush at any moment. Oh, well, first shot with the side-by-side. It's been 40 years since I used a gun like this, and oh, beautiful, sweet, and we got it. First rooster, fantastic. Here he comes. All right, oh, beautiful, boys, beautiful. Well, there it is. Beautiful Rathmoy cock pheasant. What a place. And it's great seeing the dogs working, you know. And as Ross, he owns the dogs, these are field trial champion dogs. We saw them working yesterday at the championships. And it's a bit cold and the pheasants are running, so the dogs quite often don't get a chance to hold and point. So when the dog gets onto it, you've got to be ready. But hey, what a beautiful bird. The morning shoot was pretty quiet, but the exercise was welcome, and now our host, Mark Grace, has a real surprise in store for lunch. Oh, what a beautiful spot. This is the Tipara hut, and belongs to Mark's good friend Andrew. People come down here and stay. It sleeps about 12 people. We've got the river out here, and good trout fishing in the summer, I would imagine. Lovely spot. So we've just popped in to light the fire, have a cup of tea and a little fresh cake, and then we'll get on with some more pheasant shooting. But they do things in style at Rathmoy. Part of the Rathmoy pheasant shooting experience. Mark, just pop into the bush. Here, we've got a fire going, a cup of tea, fresh cake.
All right, fresh scones.
Look after the troops. Oh, beautiful.
Yep. No, we'll get the coffee boiling in a second, and then we'll get back into it.
You betcha. I like the tie, Ken. That's your pheasant shooting tie.
It is my pheasant shooting tie. It was given to me in England by a dear friend of mine, Trevor. who said we've got to have the right tie to go pheasant shooting with. And it certainly helps the aim. I mean, you can identify your bird first before you shoot it, you know.
Oh, I could see that. Well, you pulled off some good shots today.
No, thank you.
Good birds, weren't they?
Thank you. There were some good birds here, and it's always nice to see them coming out over the treetops and having a crack on it and think, wow, I got that one, you know. There's a few I missed too, so, you know, it's not all easy going, easy pickings.
Yeah, they've got a good setup here, haven't they?
Oh, great setup, yeah. It's so natural. And look at all the toaches around and that, and the way it's done, and the fire, and it's beautiful. It really is. And the meeting of the two rivers here, just superb.
Coming up, we have a miss. And we have a hit.
Come on, let's go. Get outdoors with Geoff. Outdoors with Geoff.
Got a double. Oh, really? Brilliant. I was reading. He's come on then. Yeah, he's still hopeless, but yeah, he's coming on. Get in, George.
We're now going to hunt along the riverbank, and the lupins are always prime cover for the birds. It's been raining most of the morning, and pheasants actually don't like getting wet, so they don't move around, which makes it hard for the dogs to pick up a scent. We did see a pheasant take off and fly a short distance, landing under the riverbank. It's always exciting when you know there's a bird there, but you don't know where it's going to get up. The important thing is to always be aware of where the other shooters are, which is why we walk in a line, and where the dog handlers are.
There, right. The dog is there. Sorry.
Well, that was exciting. Hey, missed it. You didn't miss the odd one, Jeffrey. Yeah, bird went in here and dog put it up, shot down through the river. Oh, very exciting. Okay, be another one.
Get in, George. Get in, George. Get back. Good girl, there. Good girl. Good girl. Come up here away from the current, yeah? Come up here away. Joy. Good girl. Come on. Good girl.
Well, that was a hard one for a rock. Cold and wet.
Yeah. Well, at least the river wasn't 3 foot high. Be down the bloody bulls by now.
That's right. Oh, well done. There we go.
Yep.
Look at that.
Another one for the book.
Another one. Crop in here. It looks like charmolia for the cattle, and pheasants always love that sort of cover. It's a little bit wet from the rain, which has just stopped, so that might put them off a bit, but the dogs didn't go through the crop. We'll spread out along the edge here and see if something comes out. Is that a feather duster? Well, pretty exciting when you know the bird's there, and it's really, you don't get any better shots than that, Jeffrey. Easier. Still, makes up for the hard ones that we miss. Thank you very much, Mark. That was well done, mate. You always look after your customers like that. Doesn't get any better than that. Good boy. Good boy. Good. So, Mark, this is really something. I've done it all around the country, and this has got to be one of the best operations I've seen. I've never seen so many birds as there were yesterday around the lodge. Wouldn't let me shoot at the lodge. We had to come and walk through the bush. Yeah, they're nice to see them, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can't give you the two easy ones, Geoff.
Yeah, exactly. So how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, 8th season. Yeah.
8th season?
Yeah.
Is that right? So, why did you get into? I mean, it's not easy producing pheasants for guns.
No, got into it as a passion. I think, yeah, no, I used to rear pheasants and partridges as a young fella, and I mean, come home from overseas, and I think the idea of being stuck on the farm dagging sheep forever didn't appeal completely, and just a little bit of something else added in there.
If I had a farm, I reckon I'd be into it too. But it's not easy. It's like any business, you know. It involves a lot of money.
Yeah, a friend of mine offered me 120 hen pheasants, and after I'd been on my first driven shoot in 2006, and thought, righto, we'll have those. That was a bit of fun, and away we went from there. Reared 1,000. And
you breed your own birds now.
Yep.
What, you have the hatchery and incubators?
Yeah, so we catch all the birds up at the end of the season, and as laying stock, put them under a wire, and then collect the eggs every day, put them into the incubator. Well, my gamekeeper does. Pete Gifford, who's come out from England specially. He's been doing it for about 30 years over there.
Okay.
And so he's got it pretty fine-tuned.
And how many birds do you do a year?
We do 1,000 for home, and about 500 or 1,000 for up here.
When you get a bunch of people, you know, we did a walk-up because we don't have a lot of guns, but when you drive them, you do the classic traditional shooting with the beaters, putting the birds over the gun.
Yep.
Boy, that's exciting, isn't it?
Yep. You know, it certainly gets the blood up when you put the cigarette out while you're waiting on the peg, and the horn goes, and they start coming in. There's a tradition at Rathmoy. She's a nude run down the gun line if you run out of ammo.
If you run out of ammo, you do a nude run down the gun line. That's a scary thought. Some of the people I've seen shooting, but I'm definitely not going to run out of ammo. And what are the rules? Because, you know, preserves now are big business in New Zealand. Quite a few of them have to be licensed, don't you?
Yep. So all got to. There's a certain code of conduct that everyone's got to abide by, and between the Department of Conservation and Fish and Game, they've all got to be licensed, and it's normally a 5-year licence that's given out to reserves.
But because of the situation, because the birds are raised and then you sort of are creating the shooting, you don't have to stick to the regular limits, and you're allowed to shoot hens, of course, you know, which we've been shooting a few females, because it wouldn't work if you couldn't, would it?
No.
It just wouldn't get out of balance.
Yeah.
And you've got to have good dogs, haven't you? Good dogs, good handlers.
Yep.
You've got a good crew, obviously, that come.
Yeah, it's the key to the puzzle. Without them, it's nothing. Yeah. And the old faithful friends, they do a fantastic job just working away. And good to see Ross with his pointers here today.
Yeah.
But normally, the Spaniels and the Labradors.
So not just about the pheasant shooting, there's a lot of things you can do at Rathmoy. No, it's certainly evolved into
more adventure activities, and having the lodge there next to the river is just a prime location. And so a couple of years ago we put the cricket pitch in front of it, and it's good for a bit of social cricket. We're busy during the winter, which is opposite to a lot of sort of lodgy accommodation type places where you getting out of the city. And so, starting to get quite a few teams coming in for sort of champagne breakfast, jet boat to golf, play the bottom 6 up the cable car, top 6 into the clubhouse for lunch, and then that's on the Rangatira golf course, just up the road in Hunter.
We saw, we passed that, so you've got golf, bit of cricket, some clay target shooting, no doubt. You've got to, send them off the cliff there, some high targets.
Do a bit of that.
Champagne breakfast, and have a lot of fun. Probably even a bit of trout fishing in the summer, I would imagine.
Oh, it's great. I had an Australian here last year who went for a bit of a walk up, shoot up here, and then next morning he shot down and with a spinning rod, of course. He got, what did he get, 6 with 8 casts? Really? And then we went out and shot about 200 pheasants, and he was very happy camper. He came back 6 weeks later with the whole team from Australia.
I can understand why. A bunch of trout shooting, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to come back in the summer and see if we can't catch a trout. I haven't caught one in the Rangitikei for a long time.
Yeah. No, you need to have a bit of a crack down there, and then maybe venture up to the old hole.
Exactly.
Right up the top.
Right up the top. Yep. And to contact you, you just go to the website.
www.rathmoy.co.nz.
Yep, simple as that. So there you go. You want to shoot some pheasants? That's the place to go.
Yeah, no, pretty right.
Coming up, we cook the game. Look at those beautiful babies. Woo! That's that phyllo pastry I put the butter on. We've got the duck and the rocket.
Let's go, get outdoors with Geoff. Get outdoors with Geoff.
Hit him. He's gone down.
Is he?
Yeah. We were over there and about 3 or 4 went over where we were, so we come down here. That's pheasant. I saw one on the ground in there, a rooster. I don't know where he's gone, but the dogs are coming up here. We're right at the end of the V on the trees. Theoretically, it's a good place. The pheasants all came out when the sun came out, but we've got enough birds for everybody to take a couple home. And now we're going to see how an expert cooks the birds, and this time it's wild duck on the menu.
Sorry.
That's right. We're all having a party over there, getting excited about the shooting tomorrow, but Scott and I are doing the business, and I tell you what, it looks like we're going camping here, mate. We've got the camp cooker.
Yeah, we have indeed. Yep, camp cooker. I'm from Palmerston North, and I'm not sure of the cooking arrangements here, so just bring this as a bit of a safety thing. And it's gas, it's very controllable. When we cook in a commercial kitchen, we like to cook with gas. So anyway, on with it. Yep. We've got a bit of got a hot pan. Put a little bit of oil into it. It's our fennel, it's our cumin, it's our coriander. Okay, just we don't want to burn them, so I'm going to get some onions in there.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to saute those off quickly. The carrot in there, sweat that off so that it goes sort of translucent. We want to add a little bit of sweetness as well. We've got a little bit of port wine jelly there. We've got some chopped up prunes. We've got some apples with the skin on and some pear with the skin off. It is game, it's a bit rustic, and that sort of really all adds to the flavour. Okay, so we're going to fire into there our pear, apple, prunes, port wine jelly, and we'll stir that round, just let them sort of sweat off a little bit.
The boys are going to enjoy the game dinners at Geoff's place afterwards.
So we just let that to cook away now, simmer probably 10 minutes or so, just so that the apples are cooked and all the vegetables are cooked and the flavours are really mingling really well.
All right, we've reduced that a bit, cooked it up for about 10 minutes, and the duck goes in.
Duck goes in, and now we just stir it around and let the duck act like a sponge and soak up all that extra moisture in there, and then we'll put it onto a tray, back into the bowl, put it into the fridge, cool it down, wrap it in phyllo pastry, bake it in the oven for 15 minutes, there you have it.
Right, our duck spicy mixture is nice and cool.
It's cool, so we're just going to wrap it in phyllo pastry, pretty simple. Two sheets of phyllo, amount of filling, about 100 grams or so of filling, which is, using my hydrometer, I can tell you that's about 100 grams. Okay, in the centre, because it's a very rich meat, you don't need too much of it. Once again,
That's how you put the butter on.
fold it tight, but not too tight, because if it's too tight it'll burst. And last of all, just put a little brush across the top there. A little extra bit of love, a little bit of pepper, sesame seeds, poppy seeds, whatever you like.
Something like that, and then in the oven.
And in the oven 15 minutes or so, so it's nice and golden brown, and then you have it.
Babies! That's the phyllo pastry I put the butter on.
You did,
We've got
yes.
the duck and the Moroccan spices in there.
Yep, good on you. Is that alright, people? You enjoy it?
Outdoors with Geoff.
Well, our tip this week, we're going to talk about the guns we've been using today, and very successfully most of the time. I love this side by side. I love this, Brian.
It's a lovely gun. I love using that gun.
It is, isn't it? No, it's like going back in time for me, and tell me about it.
Well, that's a Fausti style. It comes in a couple of variations. One thing about Fausti, they're very good at making sub gauges. That's where they've made a lot of their business out of. So we can get this in a 12 gauge, 20 gauge, right the way down to 410.
Sure.
Some of the extra models have gold inlay, just to bling it up a wee bit, but it's a beautiful gun to use. And for snap shooting like this today, it's fantastic.
It's done very well. And what were you using, Scott?
Today, Geoff, I was using the Class SL. So Brian's using the Class. The SL version has the side plate on it, so they can do a little bit more engraving and that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and you shot well with yours, Brian.
No, I love it. They just, for field guns, they're really great. I mean, as you said, with the side-by-side or the over and under, they shoot exactly the same. So if you're used to one, you can be used to the other. It will come up nicely for you.
So my problem's going to be which one to use now. Our sponsors help us catch the fish and hunt the game. For all your hot water needs, go to reen.co.nz or see your local plumbing merchant. Next week, we visit the lovely island of Niue for a fishing contest with a difference.
Let's go get outdoors with Geoff, make the best of time that you got left. Hunting and fishing under the sun. But even if it rains, I'm gonna have some fun. Come on, let's go get outdoors with Geoff.